Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of DGS. So we're trying to figure out what happened to the poison that was supposedly in the bottle. So we've discovered that it has based on her notes, it had to come the toxic. I'm rolling all my words, but the poison doesn't work basically if there isn't a visible wound. That's what we're getting at here. So I'll just continue this and stop talking now. What caught my attention was that the trouble to write down such a detail was taken in the first place. In other words, the truth that we can glean from these materials is curare is a frightening, deadly poison when it enters the body through a wound. But it's not toxic when ingested orally. What? Miss Giselle, you knew about this characteristic of curare. That's why you were so confident you'd be okay after drinking it. You insolent. You do shit! Or is it British to be shite?
Naruhodō, You're a more commendable attorney than I thought.
Sogi. Me? An attorney? How could such a convenient poison even exist? For starters, if there was such a thing, then why it... So, the stupid monkeys got their hands on a new toy called knowledge, did they? But watching them wave around a toy they don't know how to use is nothing but a joke. What do you mean? It means that there's a fatal contradiction in your sloppy conjecture, you little man. Little man?
Contradiction?
As you've already imagined, curare is a lethal poison that is safe to drink. It reacts with a person's gastric juices and loses its potency. So, I was right then. Or a gastric juice. What if the poison is safe to drink? But if the poison is safe to drink, the professor shouldn't have died from having some slipped into his carbonated water, right? That's right! That's precisely right! And that's science for you. Do you understand now, little man? Yes, I totally understand, but we already know the answer to this. Order, order, order! Everyone in this case has short-term memories. If he drank the same type of poison as this witness, naturally the result would also be the same. So then, basically, this poison, curare, has nothing to do with the incident at hand. Precisely. Did I just read one of Asogi's lines by accident? My bad. You may be a little man who can't keep up with the times, but tell me that you can at least understand that. Oh shit. This is it. This is it, isn't it? This feeling. I never felt anything like it. It's welling up inside of me. It's like conviction and anger toward this contradiction. I'm going to vent it all out. Whatever prey is on the other end of my finger. I'm afraid that isn't going to fly, Miss Giselle. Ladies and gentlemen, 8 parts later, we finally get the objection theme. Why are you looking at me like that? You should already know. The answer to the question of why it was only the victim who died. When you both drank the same poison. Holy shit. This is the best case ever. In that case, you'll need to present some evidence. Why did the curare claim only the victim's life when it should have done no harm when orally ingested? Let's look at the exam report. It's true that Professor Watson and this witness drank the same water, but there was one critical difference between the two of them. Critical difference. Alright, I just want to stop and just talk about this for a moment, but I don't think in the long running of this Ace Attorney series we've ever had a case one where basically you actually see the characters grow in the case itself. It's pretty amazing. Like, I'm really enjoying this progression. Gyari's toxicity manifests when it enters the body through a wound, so a healthy person wouldn't be harmed by drinking it. However, what if someone had a wound inside their mouth? Then what? Inside their mouth? Yes, for example, if they'd just gone to the dentist and had a cavity removed or something. Ugh! Miss Giselle, you've already testified several times that you knew that Professor Watson had had a tooth pulled that day.
I see. So the witness used that fact.
What now? She's laughing? Since the opportunity isn't presenting itself so nicely, I suppose I'll say it one more time. This really is nothing but child's play. Like a game of court with a weak ending. What do you mean? Just this, little man. You never know what sort of accidents could occur if you carelessly hand over your precious evidence. Stop! Why don't you let me give you a special lesson? Oh no, whatever shall we do now? Our precious evidence is no more. What just happened? That Brit, she shattered the bottle. This is a Supreme Court hearing. What a disgrace. Bailiff, what are you waiting for? Quickly, collect the spilled carbonated water from the floor. It's no use. This rug was a gift from Great Britain. It's completely soaked up all the water. No matter how hard you try, I doubt your country has the means to recover it. What on earth have you done? You won't get away with this. Even if you do your very best, little man, and pound your desk over and over, you'll never know whether there was any poison inside that bottle.
You...
Son of a bitch! And one more thing. There's one thing that is clear from the evidence. Isn't that right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes, of course! This photo! Yes, this photo should be enough to convince anyone. The poor professor was sitting with his back turned to me. Only one who could have shot the victim from the front was you, little man.
You used Cure Air to poison the victim that day. Then, in order to pin the blame on Naruhodō Ryūnosuke, when you saw him pick the pistol up from the floor, you shot the professor's body with a pistol you had concealed on your person somewhere. Then, all you had to do was take advantage of the commotion left in the wake of the murder to turn the chair the body was sitting in around. That would explain how it was possible for you to have committed the crime.
What a splendid imagination you have, boy. A pistol I had concealed somewhere on my person. The already deceased professor. Unfortunately, you don't have a shred of evidence to support any of that. Precisely! As long as you lack evidence, the prosecution will not change its position. The one who shot the victim, Professor Watson, and ended his life, would have only been you, Naruhodō Ryūnosuke. Damn it. All of this is ridiculous. I chased her down this far, and yet she's still gonna get away. Thanks to that woman's dirty evidence-destroying trick.
Naruhodō,
Asogi.
we've come this far. The only one who can put an end to this is you.
Eh? What are you...
We've just lost our decisive evidence. If there's some way we can still make our last stand. That way can only come from inside that brain of yours.
From inside my brain?
You said before, didn't you, that the only thing you pride yourself on were your powers of observation?
Of course. But, well, I still managed to overlook this flashy Western beauty before, though.
Recall it one more time. What the scene looked like at that moment. What you saw and felt, even the colors and scents.
What I saw and felt then. And even the colors. I wonder, is it sleeping within my full-color memories? The clue that points to who really shot Professor Watson. It is. I've got nothing. It is! Sogi. I think I may have found it. The clue sleeping within my memories.
Honestly, you're a pretty remarkable guy, you know? Go ahead and present it then. The clue you found.
Right, I will. That nagging feeling sleeping within my memories. Will that be the key to unlocking the truth? The clue that points out Professor Watson's real shooter is... Oh, I should have taken out my stylus to make this. Detective Hosonaga, may I ask you something? Yes, what is it? Looks like he's still pretty out of it after seeing that bottle smashed. Oh no, if memory serves, you said you always strive for perfection, correct? Precisely. Did you, by any chance, preserve from the crime scene the plate you brought the steak to the victim's table on that day? Now wait just one moment. What is this all about? My memories. Memories? I saw it, you know. The scene of the crime is depicted in this photo. On the wooden plate shown here that the steak was served on, there was some blood. What? And what of it? Naturally, it must have been splattered when you shot the professor. I doubt that. Take another look at the layout shown in this photo. The plate with the steak on it is almost directly behind the victim. If I were to have shot the professor head on, then there's no way blood could have splattered on a plate that was directly behind him. Ugh!
I see. So if there were traces of blood left behind on the plate with the steak on it, then the one who shot the victim could only have been the person across the table from him, with the plate between the two of them. Giselle Bullitt.
What? As if it could have really happened that way. Your memories? We obviously can't trust those. Is that Hosonaga? Holy crap, he has his own voice! Oh! Giselle has a new animation too. I, Hosonaga Satoru, may have become a detective for the sake of this precise moment. Detective Hosonaga? Then does that mean... Of course, I took it with me, in the name of justice and crime scene preservation. You might go so far as to call me the crime scene pillager. I even took the leftover meat. What? The steak the lady had been eating, as well as the meat that the soldier had been eating. I gathered it all up indiscriminately for the sake of justice. Please, the lady's plate with the blood traces. Look it over at once. All right, detective. The court orders you to present the steak that was on the victim's table on the day of the murder. Yes, sir! Hosonaga is so, excited about this. I apologize for keeping you waiting. This is the steak in question. The blood! What about the blood?
There's no way you'll find any on that plate!
Quickly, show us the blood! Now then, feast your eyes upon it. What? The blood traces. There are any. That can't be! I'm sure I saw it. I'm positive. There was blood on the plate, with the steak behind the professor's back. Could we see the other steak plate? You look utterly pathetic right now, little man. That is precisely why I said that the Japanese words aren't to be trusted.
I agree, you filthy Jap!
Pain. You are a Japanese person too, goodness. It's the court's opinion that it's finally time to hand down a verdict. Sure, put an end to this ugly farce of a trial. I'll mercifully pretend not to have seen it. No, can we
Ha! No matter how many times we look at this pathetic slab of meat, it won't change anything. Gaze upon it with your pathetic eyes to your heart's content.
Well, thank you, because we're going to do that. Was that blood I thought I saw just my eyes playing tricks on me? This time, we really have lost.
Naruhodō. The final gavel hasn't fallen yet.
Eh?
Believe in yourself. Don't hang your head until it's completely over.
That's the person who hung his head earlier in this case. Believe in myself. Yes, that means I should have another look at it up close with my own eyes. There are no issues with the evidence whose submission the defense requested. With this, we have finished examining all evidence. No, we haven't. Look at it right now. What are we examining? This engraving on the iron platter. Is it supposed to be a cat?
It's obviously a cow. After all, steak is the king of all Western foods. That restaurant custom orders their iron platters with these engraved on them.
So it's like LaQuanta's logo. Eh? What the heck is this?
It appears to be a gold coin. Judging by the imprint, it's probably from the Hoei era.
No, that's not what I meant. What's a gold coin doing underneath the meat? Wait a minute. Did you say Hoei?
It's soaked in meat juice, but it's in pretty good shape. It's probably worth quite a bit.
A Hoei era gold coin. I've feel like I've heard that somewhere recently.
I've heard the phrase casting coins before swine, but this is the first I've ever heard of casting coins before meat.
And you'll probably never hear it again. Anyway, we made it this far and managed to discover something incredible.
To think that we will find a valuable coin under this thick slab of meat. And on top of that, it's from the Ho era. It's probably worth quite a bit.
And it's probably got just the right salt level thanks to the meat juice.
Do you intend to eat it, Naruhodō?
Well, anyway, from now on, when I see a steak at a restaurant, the first thing I'm going to do is check under the meat, heart pounding with excitement.
You know it's not like a lottery type of thing, right?
A gold coin underneath the meat. The only thing I could think of is... Alright. Get out of that for a second. Alright, now we got what we needed here. Are you satisfied now, defense? The blood splattered was supposed to be our clincher. Could there be any more clues in this steak from the victim's table? There are no clues, there's a clue. Please wait, Your Honor. We're not done with the steak yet. There's a shocking clue concealed here.
The only shocking thing here is how hung up you are about this piece of meat.
You understand, don't you, Your Honor? I simply can't avert my eyes from any more inefficiency. We've come all this way. All clues must be examined. That is the court's decision. I apologize, milady. Is that the answer your country intends to give its ally? Your Honor. The court would like to ask the defense to point it out. The clue, hidden in the steak from the victim's table. First we need to lift this up again. And this line happens again. So we're... Okay. This is...
Gold coin?
What's this? This is a Hoey gold coin. Miss Giselle, this is the steak you supposedly ate on the day of the murder, correct? So what's something like this doing hidden under the meat? What are you talking about? How should I know? I've never seen that in my life. Quit trying to drag me into strange incidents.
Who cares that there was a gold coin under the meat? It's probably something that one of the chefs accidentally dropped in as they were hurrying to get the order out.
There's not a kitchen in the world where something this valuable would accidentally be dropped into the food. We check underneath an unassuming piece of meat and find a Hoey gold coin. If this turns out to be unrelated to the case, I'll turn my back on staying in England forever.
He's got a point. If I may, Your Honor. What is it, defense? We checked underneath an unassuming piece of meat and found a Hoey coin underneath. Wait, why is this over again? Oh, I think Asogi's line got mixed around here. If this turns out to be unrelated to the case, I'll turn my back on my career as a defense attorney forever. Or did he just copy Asogi's lines?
No one asked you. Do us all a favor and quit right now.
I say, it's you yourself who has nothing to do with this case, little man. But I'm the one on trial here. Anyway, the one we should be asking about the circumstances is the owner of the gold coin. The owner of the gold coin. Yeah, if you think about it logically, it could only be that person. The owner of the gold coin that appeared underneath the steak is... this guy with a really, really long name. Sono Higurashi. Holy crap. Long name. Naturally, it's the antique shop proprietor. So, here we go. Sona Higurashi Sanman-san. Sanman-san. Sono... he? That's a very bizarre, very Japanese-sounding name. If memory serves, that was the man who testified alongside the soldier earlier in the trial, correct? Yes, exactly.
I believe I do remember that old man mentioning something about a gold coin. The instant the murder took place.
I was on my hands and knees on the floor, picking up, not paying attention to any gunshots or the like.
On your hands and knees on the floor picking up? Picking up what?
Something I'd lost. The gold coins! The valuable Hoei-era gold coins!
Hoei gold coin? So you mean to say that?
However, how did the antique shop's owner's gold coin end up underneath the stake on the victim's table?
I think that's something we should hear from his own lips. Bailiff, summon the previous two witnesses back to the courtroom. At once! I never dreamed that these two would become important again. But somehow, I have this sort of premonition that feels an awful lot like conviction. If we chase down the meaning behind this gold coin, I'm certain we'll find that it ties into this case. Whew. Now we have 4 witnesses at the stand. Lord. What business could you possibly have with us here at the 11th hour? I'm supposed to be feeding my son his lunch right now. This boy of mine is fiercer than a wild dog when he's hungry.
So you already know that the police made us their dogs and coerced us into giving false testimony. Dogs who were stamped, junk, and driven out of the courtroom. I've already said everything I had to say and plan to live out the rest of my days in melancholy.
To the owner of the antique shop, there's one thing I'd like you to confirm to us. Have you ever seen this gold...
Ah! That's exactly... No, precisely! That's exactly, precisely, undoubtedly... one of the shining Hoei treasures I lost at the restaurant that day. What?
Just as I thought.
You, kid, could you find it in your heart to tell this hapless old man where exactly it was that my treasure had been dropped?
I don't know if dropped is quite the right word, but...
This coin was found swimming in sauce between a cut of beef and an iron platter.
None? Did you say a cut of beef and an iron platter?
Naturally, it is impossible for a coin to have been dropped into such a place. In other words, someone hid it there.
Someone hid my Hoei coin between some meat and an iron platter? Who was it? Who would do such a rude thing?
Soldier, I think you need to admit that you did it yourself. Pardon me, but may I say something? Detective Hosonaga. You may speak, Detective. I stated this previously, but I went undercover as the head waiter at that restaurant to investigate a certain incident.
Come to think of it, you did. Something about an undercover investigation.
La Quanta's is a gourmet restaurant where foreigners and other affluent customers gather. Recently, there has been a rash of robberies targeting those customers, and all following the same modus operandi. The other day, a tip related to those incidents was reported to the Imperial Police headquarters. Unforgivable sneak. It was often foreigners who were targeted, so we hope to clear the matter up as quickly as possible. And that's why you went undercover. Yes, I waited tables to discourage these despicable scum from his crimes. It's likely that this gold coin was also the work of the same person.
A thief infestation at the restaurant, huh? We had no idea. It seems that the restaurant was already involved in another incident.
Indeed it was. And I believe we're gonna have to go. I have to stop here now because now we are out of time. And so we shall continue this. We're very close to finishing though, but hopefully maybe in 1 or 2 videos. But anyway, we'll continue this in the next video. I'll see you guys then.
It's soaked in meat juice, but it's in pretty good shape. It's probably worth quite a bit. Worth quite a bit. I got it, Naruhodō. We'll use the gold coin to bail you out of prison. That works here in Japan, right?